Hi, so in this video we are talking about the smooth sailing chapter, and the questions are all longest string, common characters count, and is lucky, sort by height, and reverse in parentheses. So let's get started. And I'm coding in Java, so all longest strings. So you are given an array of strings and you are returning the longest length. So 3, 2, 2, 3, 3. You are returning 3, 3, 3, right? So what you should do is you should return a string of array, right? But when I store, I want to use the list of a string, because if I find the length of 2 first, so 2, 2, 3, right? So when I find a new length which is greater than the one I found before, imagine you don't have this, and then I need to clear the list. So the list of string will be helpful instead of the string array. So set, I'm just going to set and new array list. I don't think you should use hash set because the string can be the same, and you want to include the duplicate. So I'm going to have a count. So the count is currently 0. So while or for loop, string, I would say word input array. So you will loop through entire things. So if the word dot length is greater than longest, when it's greater than the longest, right? I need to clear the set and then add, right? But when I add, I don't need to add over there, so I can add a word outside of it. And also set the longest to the length. So what happens is if the word is less than longest, so we don't want to look at it. Like if the word is already longest, less than the longest, we don't even need to count. So we just skip the word to the next one, and then to check if the word is greater than the longest. And if it is, then we clear it and then we add it. And for this example is like you have 3, the length of 3, so it's greater than the longest. So I set that clear, and then I add a word and then set the longest. Then the next word is 2. 2 is less than 3, so I don't care about it. Continue. 2 is still less than 3. Continue. And the next word is 3. So 3 is not less than 3, right? So you go here. If it's greater, no, it's not greater. So you keep adding to the list of string. So the idea is pretty similar. So we need to return the string of the array, right? Array of string. But we are currently storing the list of string. So I can say set that to array, and then inside this I just create a temporary string of array, and that will be your answer. And I hope you get it. And for the time and space, so space, the worst case is O of n. You store every word into your list, and the time is O of n, like you loop through entire string of array, and that's it. So once again, Java. So common character count. You are given 2 strings, and then you're going to count the comment. So what I like to do is I always like to store into the common characters using the int array, and it's only 26 character for alphabets, right? So I would say I fill out the common array to the integer of positives, the maximum the maximum value, and find out the minimum character count in the array for each one, and then I can just reset it. So you'll get it once I code it. So I would say int count string 1. Alright, new int 26, and I also need count string 2 equal new int 26, and doing the same thing. So to char array, and then I'm going to say count s1 c minus a plus. Going to do the same thing, and for the string 2, right? String 2. Now I need to minimize the common characters. So int I equals 0, I less than 26, I plus plus, and the common, since they are the same, I would say cnts1 the I, and then cnts2 the I. So when they visit the character, they will find out the minimum on each array. So what happened for the answer? I need to return the int, right? So when both are 0, the common I is 0, but when one of them, the minimum is 1, and then 2, the common I is 1, right? So I need to add to the answer because it's a common character. So if common the I is not equal to 0, answer plus equal to comma I. And even though it's 0, I can still add, but this the way I code will be understandable to read. I'm not adding the 0 just for the space and time. I mean, should be time, and then time complexity. And for the space complexity, I created three counting array, and I loop through the common array every single time. I mean only once time, to find out the array, the common minimum. So the space will be out of 26 times 3, and then time will be out of n or out of m, the minimum of the string 1 and string 2 for this case. But for this case of 26, which is constant. So time, I would say all of 26. So it's not the minimum of the minimum of the S1 or S2. It's actually the length of the 26. Yeah, and that's it. And it's locking number. Ticket number usually consists. Okay. So what I would do is I split the string to the half, and then I convert the string, because I convert integer to string first to split in the half, split to the half. So I convert the string back to the integer, and to check if my first half and the second half are the same. So string. Now I'm going to go to string.value. So the way you do it is convert the integer to the string, and then cut into the half. So first half equal to num.substring. So you start from the beginning to the end. No, it's not the end, the half. So the half is the end mod divided by 2, and the second half will be num.substring from the the length of divided by 2 to the end, and you are going to check is the first half and second half are equal to each other, but they are currently type string. You have to convert to integer, right? So convert int first half is equal to the convert in second half. So I'm going to write the int convert string num. So I'm going to convert answer, right? Answer equal to 0 first. So I'm giving a number of string, and I mean a value of the string, and to check if I do have the same value for each other. But in this current function, I just have to convert string to the to integer. So what I would do is I get numbers integer dot parse int. So you see there's a parsing int, and then you just type in num. So while num while number is greater than 0, then I just say answer plus equal the digit, which is number mod 10, and then decrement mod divide by numbers. So you will get the number when it's less than or equal to 0. There will be your answers. So for this example, 1 2 3 0, right? You split to the half 1 2 and 3 0, but you don't want to add 12. You want to add 1 plus 2, right? The digit, right? The first half of the digit and is equal to the second half of the digit. So in this case, you split into half. 2 plus 3 plus 9 is not equal to 0 plus 1 plus 7. So you return false. So I'm going to run a test to see if I have error. Okay, I do. Maybe I converted wrong. So yeah, converted wrong. So answer a number, I spelled number wrong. And okay, correct. So the idea is cut into the half, and to check if the value are the same. If they are the same, you return true. If they are not the same, you just return false. And in this function, I just convert the string back to the integer, but I only add the digits. I'm not going to multiply or subtract or like divide the answer for the digits. So I just keep adding. So the num mod 10 will be your first digit, and then you divide by 10, and then you mod again, and when you get the second digit, and then you keep dividing, and that will be your answer. For the time, I would say the half of the length, so all of n minus 2, because when you loop, you are going to cut into the half, so all of n divided by 2. And same things for this one, so the space will be all of 1. You're not doing anything for the, it's not storing the value for the n. Okay, next. Sort by height. So you are given an array, and you don't want to move the -1, and when the value is not -1, you sort in order, right? Okay, I got it. So there's a list of the string to store the value which is not -1. So I'm going to say, and int num a, if num is not equal to -1, list.add none, and so I got all of height, which is not -1, so I can use collection.sort, which is unlogged list. Now I can keep adding the index to the correct position, so I'm going to set initial to 0, so I equal to 0, I less than a.length, I plus plus. So this index is for the list of the integer index, and the I is looping from the inside the array of integers. So if a.I is not equal to -1, then we just swap, technically swap the index, and then we need to increment it once it's not -1. So for this example, you will get return a. So for this example, when you get -1, you don't want to touch it. -1, you don't want to touch it. But when it's not -1, so when it's not -1, since I already sorted, and then I just get the first index, which is 150, and then I move the list of the integer to the next one, but the array is already sorted, so the next value is 160. So let's see if I have error or not. Okay, correct. So for the time, you have loop through the entire array and array again, but it's not the double for loop, so it's the loop over here and then loop over here, so it's out of n, but the sorting is out unlock n, so the worst case is unlock n, and the space will be out of n for the worst case if the array of integer is not -1, out of it is not -1, so you have to sort into the list of the integer, and that will be it. Okay, the next one. So reverse integer. Okay, you need to find the parentheses, right? And there could be multiple parentheses. Okay, so the idea is you need to find the most inner parentheses for the opening and the close. In this case, the most inner is this one, and the most inner closing is this one, and in this case the most inner is this one. You need to reverse list BAZ to ZAB, then you reverse BAR ZAB BR ZAB to a new array. Okay, I got you. So what I would do, I would say inner P equal to, I'm going to change to S the index. Okay, since it's the most inner, right? So imagine you are in this case, you will get this value first, the most inner, so you will get last index of, so you are using the string, so you are getting this, and outer. Okay, inner opening, it will be easy to understand. The most inner closing will be the first index, the first one, the first one you just found, because it's already a valid string, right? And you will not have an invalid input. So this will be your inner one, and this will be your outer one. I mean the close parentheses, and this one is the first one, second one. Okay, so what you should do is, while the inner opening is not equal to -1, which means you cannot find the opening parentheses, so what you should do is you have a reverse string. So we can use string builder, to store the reverse stuff. So I need to find out what should I do. And I want to reverse this part, right? So the index will start from here, B, not the index over here, but the B, to the index here, but the substring index you need to contain this. So s.substring. So inner opening +1 to the inner closing, right? From here, from here to here, BAR, and that will be your first reverse. And then you need to store the before reverse, which is FOO and BAZ. So you have 2 strings to store. So what you should do before is 0 to the first opening. Come on. And then after is closing. I just add 1 to the end. So you want to start from here to the index here, but the substring needs to contain this one, which is the inner opening index. And from here is actually the index for the closing +1, right? You will get the idea, right? And then once I convert it, I need to update to before plus reverse plus after. And then what should I do? I need to keep finding the inner opening and inner closing, right? I can just copy. Now what should I do? I return S. So I hope I can understand. So the last index for the opening is the s.last, right? And then the inner for the, I mean, there should be no problem. Okay, then I'm gonna run it. Okay, new string builder. Okay, I forgot to reverse. So reverse that toString. So I got the string, I need to reverse and convert to string because I'm using string builder. I'm wondering, I do have error for this case. 78, 70, line 6. Line 6 string, new string builder. Make sure you don't have problem. Reverse that toString out of bounds. Okay, so the problem will be here, inner closing. So when I find the closing one, right, I also need to know I also need to know the position for the opening one. So if I do have this, it doesn't matter, but if I have this, the double opening and double closing, I need to find out which index I should starting from. So I should start from the one I just found, and that will be your answer. This is the mistake I had, and let's just run it. I'm going to refresh again, so if I can make sure I don't make mistake again. So I need to find the opening for the for the string, and I need to find a closing parentheses after the opening, the most first, the first one I just had after the opening. So it's going to be index of the inner opening. You're starting from here, and you start from here as well. And when you find these two, they will solve half of the problem. And you just have to reverse. You reverse the string from, inside the parentheses, right? You find out the string of the length of the string, substring, and then you reverse. When you reverse, you convert to toString, because the string builder your type is string. And you also need to get what happened before the parenthesis and what happened after the parenthesis, the closing one and opening one. Then you convert, you modify your given string. Then you keep doing until you cannot find the opening parentheses. And the time, I would say the number of the opening parentheses, because you keep doing this. So the worst case is you have the number of the string length divided by 2, because the string has to be valid, right? You can have this without nothings, but you actually to know is the length of the length divided by 2 is the worst case. And the time and space, you doing the string builder for each case, so it's all of n divided by 2 as well. And for the worst case, and the best case, just all of 1. And the last question is a little bit harder, so I hope you get it. Alright, peace out.